Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to show you my new toolbox. Picked this up roughly a month ago. I've been using it a little bit, fixing a couple little things on it, going through it, finding out what's wrong. And I know that might sound weird when I'm telling you, hey, check out my new toolbox, but here, I'll give you a look. So what it is a 2007 Ford 550. It's got the 6-liter in it, which, I mean, everyone's scared of a 6-liter, but father-in-law had one when I first met the wife, and it was a fairly problematic truck. I had to actually go through and did the high pressure pump and turbo and a whole bunch of stuff. And I learned quite a bit on it. I'd never worked on a 6-liter before that. But, I mean, they're very complex because they're kind of done different with the high pressure oil system for the injection. But I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. I like a challenge, so I don't think it'll be that bad. I'm not going to put a ton of miles on this thing. I've had it for month and a half now, and I think I've put 600, maybe 700 kilometers on it. So anyway, I'll show you around it. So like I said, it's an 07 6-liter. It has the Getrag 6-speed manual in it. Move the garbage out of the way here. Anyway, like I said, it's got the Getrag 6-speed. It's got the console. A fairly decently optioned truck. AC in it. The AC works. 4-wheel drive. Cruise control. I used to have a 2-way. It's still got all the wiring for it. It's got quite a few of the switches for... Like, it's got the factory auxiliary switches, and they're used for the lighting and the crane power. It does have PTO down there to run the crane hydraulics. I still got to go through all the lights. I've still got quite a bit to fix. I believe this was for the PA on it for the 2-way, but it really doesn't do anything right now. Power doors and windows. Honestly, the cab and the body are in pretty good shape. Because it's the 550, it's got the 19.5 wheels, but the steer tires are in really good shape. The drives aren't very bad either. I'll show you them. It's got LED headlights in it, like the bulbs. It has a light bar, but the light bar is not wired in. Like I said, it had a 2-way on it, and I think that's what this PA was for. I got to put a new bulb in this work light. The work light's up on the tank work. It has the Cobra 4406 crane on it. The crane does work. I got to do a little wiring. The sensor on the end of this reel at the end for your extension has been bypassed because the reel was no good, so I got to put a reel on it and fix the bypass. It's got the air hookup in the back. The reel is inside this box here. As you can see, quite a bit of storage in there. I'll show you in these drop-down cabinets in a second. It takes 2 hands to open them. Got the vacuum. There used to be a pump in here, big diaphragm pump, I'm pretty sure, for the used oil tank in this thing. It's got a used oil tank in the center. I've got my air tools and my electric impacts and stuff in these drawers here. It came with this newer toolbox in here. It's a Mastercraft, so it's nothing fancy. I haven't got it set up very well or organized yet. Brace yourselves. The wrench drawer is just disgusting. But like I said, I guess I've owned it for a while. I haven't really done anything with it. I've been kind of busy with other stuff, and when I'm not busy working on anything else, it's kind of nice to have a little break once in a while. Got the 3/4 drive set down here. Cans from some frosty cold beverages. The box is in pretty decent shape. The paint is rough. It's got a couple holes I need to fill or mount stuff in. Same on top of the box. But I mean, overall it's pretty good. Inside here, spring loaded with a gas shock. So when these close, they close with force. It's the same on both sides. It's got this drop down door that works well as a bench. So it's set up pretty well in here. Got the tap and die sets, a little socket set, cam degreeing kit, some brake clean, one of the torque wrenches. I usually have both of them in here, but I lent the one to the father-in-law for his Cadillac. Cam bearing install tool, die grinder kit, polishing kit. It's got these nice double lock drawers with the pull cables on this side. Got my micrometers, my triple square kit, nice pair of 8-inch Mitutoyo calipers that I got for free from my cousin when he used to work at a machine shop. And then in this drawer I've got my 4-inch breaker bar in here. So, sorry, not 4-inch, 4-foot half-inch drive breaker bar. I've got my extractor kits. I've got 3 of them here. External extractors here. Nice Matco set. I've got 2 sets of internal extractors. Some left-hand bits here. A couple normal style extractors, and then these nicer ones. And I'll tell you, if you can use these guys, it doesn't matter what make they are. They grab like nobody's business. They work fantastic. Same with this set. These are external ones. I thought they were internal, so there you go. I was wrong about that. Shows you how much I've used them. Got a snap-on impact driver set. And the reason I have this in snap-on, when I first apprenticed, my journeyman told me, he said, you need an impact driver set. And he said, it's not worth cheaping out. He said, I've bought 3 of them, and the only one that was ever any good was the last one I bought. He said, it's a snap-on one, just save the money and buy it off the bat. So I did. I got ignition wrench sets here, which I have never used in my life. Standard and metric in here. Don't work on a lot of old stuff with points ignition, so I've never used it. This is that puller set that we used when we pulled the crank pulley off the 454. Lug nut pliers, strength tester for antifreeze, just simple stuff like that. And then in the top here, see if you can get a view here. There's a drop down cabinet. I'll just pull this box out of the way. And I've got some more stuff up in here, just like bit sets, snap ring pliers, stuff like that. And it snaps up there really nice, latches in. You can even lock these. I haven't had an issue yet. Got the equalizer stabilizer jacks, one on each side. They extend out and then you can jack them down just for support when you're using the crane. Got a big 16.5 horse Briggs & Stratton on this big 3-lung compressor, and it does work. It fired up first pull, but as you saw on the reel back there, I've got air lines still open. I don't have all the fittings for them yet. We'll go through the cabinets on this side too. I've just kind of got random stuff in here, like an extension cord, little clickety-clack fuel pump and some lines, some extra oils, and then just kind of like random crap, really. These are adjustable shelves in here, like you can change the height. I might get a few more shelves made. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I haven't had it long enough to really get it outfitted the way I want. This side has, sorry if you couldn't hear me over the noise there. This side also has the drop down door and the lift door with the gas shock. I've got my electric grinder in here, my power probe and the power probe lead set. And I'll let you guys have a look at these. These are probably some of the best electrical tools you can have, especially if you're working on like trailers, whether it be a stock trailer or a car trailer, or even like this service box chasing wires, anything that's not really electronics. It's like a test light, but it's like a test light on freaking steroids. Because not only will it light up for power, it'll also light up when you touch a good ground. You can also provide power and provide ground with it. So it's just fantastic. And then this set is just all the random leads for it. We got some of these banana clips to pierce the wire, inline connectors so you can add extensions. You can buy extension kits. Another probe tip. Here's some more of those extensions. I haven't used this lead kit too much, just because 90% of what I'm doing, I'm within what I need with just this. Or I have some back probe kits at work, and they work really good with the back probing set. This is just random little electrical stuff. I got this from my wife's grandma. It was her grandpa's stuff. Haven't used it too much, but it sure has been handy whenever you do. Another one of these drop-down shelves above here. I've got mostly aerosols, some anti-seize, stuff like that in there. Like I said, I haven't filled it too much yet, but there's quite a bit of room in there. And it's really slick how it just tucks up out of the way. It's really nice. I got a bunch of my electrical stuff in the top drawer here. Trailer plug tester, test light. This is my little torch slash solder, gas-powered soldering tool. I got a bunch of random electrical connections here, some shrink tube, just a cheap chintzy voltmeter, multimeter. My favorite electrical pliers I've ever used. You don't have to get them in a snap-on. Mac and Matco, and probably channel lock. It's all the same pliers. They're just nice because they don't come loose at the hinge here like the cheap pliers do. I like having the crimper at the end of it, just because when you're working in tight spaces, it's so much easier to get into crimp than trying to feed pliers over. Just random stuff like tape measures, lighter, some solder, a couple different solders, battery post cleaner, some zip ties, a random little pack of gasket material, electrical octopus, and then this drawer here doesn't have the cable on it. I gotta drill a hole in this one here and put a cable in, but that's not a big deal. Not much in this one yet. This is my old puller kit, just like that snap-on one on the other side, but I've had this for 20 years almost. Little automatic centering punch. Trying to struggle to remember the name there for a second. Nice star at one too, like it's good quality. Random ball for a ball hitch. I've got my reciprocating saw, my timing light, my vacuum brake bleeding kit, and well, whatever you need to make vacuum with. I've got all my old bit boxes from the bits we use on the blades and the graders in the winter. After they're done using the bits, the guys usually save the boxes for me because they're awesome for organizing. They stack together. You can put quite a bit in them, and then like I've just got most of them labeled with whatever I've got in them. As you can see, there's a dozen in the bottom here, and then another 6 up here. These ones are empty. These ones are filled. Kind of helps try and keep me organized. This has those same adjustable height shelves in here, so. And then in the front cabinet here, this is where you'd have your acetylene torch hoses. You'd have your oxygen in here. You'd have your acetylene stud in here as well. And it's got these nice aluminum drawers. I've just got them kind of filled with whatever right now. Like, they're a little stiff. I need to lube them up. But this one's got like the hacksaws and little hand saws in it. The one below it's got stuff stuck here. I don't even know what's in that one. Oh, I got a giant wrench in the way. That explains that. Pipe wrenches, wire brushes. These were already kind of labeled, and I put what I could where in the ones that were already labeled. There's quite a few of these still empty. If I can get this open with one hand. Like I said, they're a little sticky. This one's all kinds of files, whether it's for sharpening the chainsaw or just regular files in there. Not that you use files too much anymore, but it sure is nice to have them when you need them. Another empty one. This one has socket trays in it, nothing on them. Filter wrench in there. This one I've got hammers in, and nothing in the bottom one. Got my pry bars here. It's a really good place just to keep gas jug. So I mean, it works kind of nice for that. I'll just show you in the back here, there's quite a bit of space. It's got a great big drop down end gate here, and then a flip down top piece. And then the whole top actually can roll back, so the whole thing's only about 4 feet deep. Which is quite nice. It makes it easier to get in here. You can see it's got a spot for the spare mount in here. If you look up in the front here, I know it's a little dark, but it's got the big used oil tank, and then it's got the small hydraulic tank here for the crane. We got the big truck mounted air compressor tank here, the beacon. Nothing really fancy up there. It's got chain racks in it on both sides. I've got this one just held shut with tarp straps. I got my little blocks for rolling cars up on. I usually have my floor jack in here, but I've got it in the garage using it. Got my booster cables and extension cords. There's some tie down spots here on the floor. It's really handy. Like I said, I haven't had it long enough to really change much. I'd like to either put a vise on here, because it's just nice to work off this platform, or I was thinking about building a vise and maybe an anvil that I can put inside the hitch there. This door has a chain on each side that you can hook to keep the door up, and then you can latch the top piece. Like I said, trailer plug, it's got the hitch. All LED lighting on the outside of the truck, like all the tail lights, all the marker lights. So I mean, it's nice and bright. You don't have any trouble with lighting at night. The tires, rear tires are probably about 50%. They're in fairly good shape. So I mean, there's no complaining there. For the amount of miles I'll put on this thing, it's not like I'm gonna be putting new tires on it soon. I'm probably only gonna put like 5,000 a year on this thing, unless things go really well. Because I'm only right now doing jobs I want to do. So I mean, it's not bad for that. It's got the straight pipe on it with this nice rusty stack that's very poorly mounted. This should be rubber mounted. I know it has a flex pipe down there, but this should be rubber mounted to the box. So I'm looking for a chrome or a stainless stack. I kind of like to put a turnout on it. I don't want to go giant. I'm not worried about that. It's already plenty loud. It's straight piped. It's actually not bad going down the road. So I mean, like, I'm not complaining about that. But anyway, I'll pop the hood. I'll show you under the hood. There's the 6 liter. 358,000 kilometers on this now. There was 357,600 and change when I picked it up. But I'll show you around under here some of the stuff. Some of the stuff I know about. I don't know. There's stuff like this fuse here. I have no idea what that's for, but there's no fuse in it, so. But anyway, it's got 2 fairly new batteries in it. It's got a cold air intake, like an AFE filter, and elbow here. It's got the Rotodeco positive air shutoff. Because it was an oil field truck, it had to have the positive air shutoff. Other than that, it's pretty much stock 6 liter in here. It's not super chipped up or anything, which is nice because in my experience with 6 liters, they're okay if you keep them stock. Or if you keep them stock and you straight pipe them, they're pretty good. It's when you start putting a bunch of power to them, you have all the issues. Like, you're always going to have injector issues, and you're always going to have high pressure oil pump issues. There's nothing you can do to get away from that. At the end of the day, engine oil is a terrible hydraulic fluid because it's always picking up all kinds of impurities and whatnot, and then it's sending it through that high pressure pump and sending it through the injectors, and it just wears stuff out. They're honestly pretty good engines if you don't do what the manual says and change the oil every 8,000. If you change the oil every 5 and you run like 1540 or fairly heavy oil like that, you're not running like a 040, they actually last really well. You keep the glow plugs working, they start no problem. Like, every 6 liter is going to crank a little bit. They got to build oil pressure. There's nothing you can do about that. But anyway, like I said, they're actually pretty good if you don't treat them like a race car. Because it's not a race car. It's a work truck. And for that, it's pretty good. Like, when you drive it, even with that 6-speed, because it's a 550, it's geared really low. So like down the highway in 6th gear at 100 kilometers an hour, you're doing 2,450 RPM. If you're on highway 2 and you're doing 110, or doing what everyone else does, 120, 130, yeah, you're doing 2,700 RPM, and it's too much. So when I go places, if I can get on a quiet road and do 90, it's actually pretty good on fuel. It's probably as good as my 1-ton Dodge, which is all deleted. So like, I'm not complaining there. But yeah, there's not really much else to see under here. It looks like a used truck. It used to have a master switch in it, but that's disconnected. So I haven't even tried out the 4-wheel drive on it yet. I'm hoping I never do, but it's got it. Hopefully it works. It's got a couple new injectors in it. The high pressure pump's been resealed. The guy had a list of stuff that he'd done to it. It does need the up pipe for the turbo, like from the manifolds to the turbo. When you're driving it, you get a mean whistle, and it's actually got the brand new pipe behind the seat. I just got to stop being so lazy and put it in. But yeah, anyway, that's your 6-liter diesel. Nothing special, nothing fancy. This is the engine everyone hates and everyone's afraid of. When I picked up this service truck, it was actually like half the price of one with a Dodge, and the Dodge would have had 200,000 more. Like a 500,000 Dodge with the same setup box and the same shape type deal sells for almost double what I paid for this. I'm not using it every day. If I was using it every day for work and I needed to rely on it, it would probably be a poor truck to buy. But it's just for me after work. It's my hobby truck. It's for me and my buddies to go work on stuff. It's for me to make a little extra money. I figured it's probably not a bad deal. So anyway, guys, that's the walk around on my service truck. Any questions? Go ahead, ask them. I'm not a genius by any means, but I'll tell you what I know. Just thought some people might want to see it. Surprisingly, it's not the most expensive toolbox I've bought. It was about 3/4 of the price I paid for my big box at work, which ironically, once I bought this, I emptied up 90% of that toolbox, so there's barely anything left in it. It's all in this truck. This truck holds twice as much. It's fully mobile. It's got its built-in compressor. It's got the crane. Like, really, this was a pretty smart buy in comparison to that. But, I mean, can't just have a service truck sitting in the shop at work all the time. I mean, kind of frowned on. But anyway, take it easy, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't. I'm not telling you what to do. Anyway, take it easy.